And we go back to the controversy, the fact that this week he basically talked about how defund the police was bad. As I said, we've talked about it before, but what I think he really expressed, because first and foremost, as was everything else in social media, um, even the people who came at him, if they heard the entire quote,
Yeah.
it's a lot harder to criticize him, right? It's just the highlight of what he said, and let's go for the jugular. But I think the thing that to me is most, frustrating with this whole argument is the fact that there are people who are so married to the quote that they're not focusing on the policy. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but the reality is this. The one group I have no problem with, I don't agree with them, are the abolitionists. Abolitionists have every right in the world to go out there and say defund the police, because ultimately they're not telling you and I that, oh no, what we don't really mean that. They're saying, no, we mean that.
Yeah.
So I respect it. And as I said before, abolitionists have lots of, I think, very good workable solutions. So while I don't agree with them, I think that they're the only ones that have any kind of integrity with me talking about the fund police. But if you're sitting there, especially as a member of Congress and not an activist, and saying, well, the fund the police has got to be the policy, then you better go ahead and understand what the policy is. Because if you're saying, as a person, as a member of the Democratic caucus, you want to defund the police, that is going to be an anchor you're hanging around your colleagues. And I don't think that's fair, especially if you truly don't mean it.
Yeah. And then, so something I paid attention to this week was this idea that if you don't understand defund the police, then you're on the wrong side. And it's like, look, if we're having this much argument for the past 6 months, if we're having this much confusion, this much misunderstanding, then you've already lost the battle. Defund the police is already lost as just the slogan, right? The policy is always something that we should strive for. But as a slogan, as a marketing tool, you've already lost that, because people lost house seats. They're saying they lost house seats because of it. You have Biden and Obama who are saying, no, we don't believe in defunding the police as a slogan, right? They believe in the policy. So what I would say to people who are saying, there's two groups of people. They're saying defund the police should be our policy. And there's people who are saying, yeah, we like the policy, but let's change the name. You've already lost the name. The name is gone. It's already associated with bad things, and we need to move on and get going.
And again, I will not tell abolitionists not to use
Fair
it,
enough.
because
Fair enough.
abolitionists, are walking the walk.
Yeah.
But the reality is that, I think something else that we talk about, I want to expand on, is I feel that the people in the center, the moderates, might be overstating its standing as a liability, but also people in the center, people on the far left, are completely underestimating. You can't sit there, and I saw people I respect on social media, people in the media, saying, well, in this community they defunded the police, and here they defunded the police. No, they didn't get rid of police.
Right.
They shifted funds, and that messaging wasn't a liability. But the reality is that when you're talking about how nationalized our politics are, then you actually have to truly acknowledge that, you and I both live in very liberal, potentially progressive districts. You can go ahead and say stuff like that, and it's not going to go ahead and hurt you.
Yeah.
But Lauren Underwood, who is just 50 miles west of us, she doesn't have that same flexibility.